I'm Mark Adams, and welcome to episode 43 of Marksmess Podcast, where my daughters Charlotte and Catherine,
Charlotte and Catherine,
we look at the world of geekery. This month we are going to be looking at season 12 of Doctor Who, the latest season that was on, so full spoilers all the way through. We're in the middle of the lockdown for the coronavirus here in the UK. And I'm at home working as much as I can do youth work over the internet and making videos. I've actually started to make videos both for work and for my church. So it's a bit odd getting back to the old microphone here and doing the stuff. What have you been up to, Charlotte?
I'm off school and my GCSEs have been cancelled, which is my big exams. They've been cancelled.
So how are they going to assess it for next year?
I don't know yet. They still haven't told us.
I think it's mainly in the work you've done, both your mocks and your predicted grade. So have you been doing anything interesting?
I've been attempting to learn British Sign Language.
And how's that been going?
Pretty good. I know my whole alphabet and numbers 1 to 100, and I'm now learning my colours.
Yay, that's pretty good. It's a very handy thing to have. I often wonder... Thank you. Pun not intended. I often wonder why different countries have got different sign languages. Because there's American Sign Language, there's Irish Sign Language, because it's a fairly new language that's being created. So
it was recognised by the UK government in 2003.
As late as that?
So that's only 16 years ago.
That is crazy. That's your age.
Well, 17.
Okay.
Your sign language.
Okay, Catherine, what have you been up to?
Well, I'm also learning sign language, but I haven't got as far because I've had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you're not in a big exam year, so they've been sending you a lot of work from school. I mean, a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. And what did we just do before this?
We did an exercise video on YouTube.
And that was a Joe Wicks one. There's lots of words that have come into our vocabulary because of this coronavirus. Coronavirus, COVID-19, the flattening the curve, social isolation, Joe Wicks, social distancing, all those things have been up. And we've been watching a lot of TV and looking at things. I've been enjoying, Man with a Plan? That's I've been annoying everybody in the house. It's been on every day.
You are binging it.
Well, I'm watching 1 or 2 a day.
3 or 4.
And I've been watching The Newsroom, which is...
I kind of enjoyed the
Man with the Plan?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's a guy, I've forgotten his name. Why have I forgotten his name? The guy who played Joey from Friends. It was very enjoyable.
What? The guy who played Joey?
Joey. From Friends. You don't remember Friends.
I thought you meant Joy from Inside Out. Friends
is one of those comedy series that did not last well. The years have not been kind on it.
Loads of people really like it, but I tried it. It doesn't really interest me.
They've got their own wee line and Primark and all.
Well, you won't believe how popular that was back in the day. Young people went inside to watch that when it was being shown. Yeah, we had technology to tape them, but they had to watch it. But yeah, I mean, I used to have a Central Perk mug to drink my coffee from.
I have pajamas stuff. I don't know why, but
that's just the thing.
Cool thing, Catherine.
Yeah. So we have finished a few things. We have finished Buffy, so there will be a future episode in season 1 of Buffy. We have to get season 2. I actually have the movie, the original movie. Catherine has finished all the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that we can. In fact, there's only one you haven't watched. The Incredible Hulk. Not the Hulk. Hulk is a different movie. The Incredible Hulk. But it's still a good movie. And we watched... I'm still trying to educate them in movies of a classic era, and we watched Independence Day. Charlotte, what did you think of Independence Day? Jeff Goldblum, Will Smith, that's it. Anyway, yes, he was quite young compared to what you see. What did you think?
It wasn't too bad. At some parts, it was a bit slow.
It was action. It was pew.
I was thinking during it. There's a movie now where it's older him and they've had to, and he meets younger him.
A Gemini or something like
Yeah,
that.
and I was thinking he looks exactly like younger him, and that's probably where they got the younger him from.
Okay. You know he did a huge TV series when he was quite younger. Fresh Prince Bel-Air, I know.
So basically what you're saying is the younger version of him looks exactly like the younger version of him.
Yeah.
What you're saying is Will Smith looks alike. Okay, Catherine, what did you think of Independence Day?
I don't like it.
How could you not like it?
Well, it's like...
Was it just too exciting for you?
No, it was...
Was it just too much story for you?
It was quite long for all it was.
What do you mean all it was?
Well, basically, all that happened was aliens came, blew up the Earth, and they went to stop them.
But they didn't blow up the Earth.
Yeah, but you get what she means, yeah. But you could distill any movie into a couple of words.
Yeah, but...
There's just no pleasing you, is there?
Iron Man, basically, Iron Man gets trapped and he builds a suit out of metal.
Iron. Wait, yeah, it's iron, never mind.
Anyway, right, other things that we finished is the last season of Doctor Who, and that's what we're going to talk about. Season 12 of Doctor Who. We watched...
It quite a while back, though.
Huh? Yeah.
Did we not watch Buffy after that?
Well, it finished... Let me just check here. I've got the Wikipedia page open. It finished...
February.
1st of March.
Oh, close enough.
So about a month ago.
Because it's now
That doesn't
April.
make sense.
I keep thinking that February's after March, and it's really annoying.
What?
I woke up, when was... Like, April 1st was yesterday, wasn't it?
As we record, yes.
I woke up and thought it was February.
Somebody had a tweet up about Matt Smith would be in the Christmas Doctor Who, and I showed it to Catherine, and she was so happy for about 3 seconds before I said April Fool. It fooled me as well, but anyway. Right, let's go over each of the episodes. There were 10 episodes, and we'll talk a wee bit about them. I'm using the BBC page for the short Catherine-style one-sentence synopsis. New Year's Day, we had Spyfall Part 1. It says here, intelligent agents around the world are under attack from alien forces. What did you think of that?
I loved that one. It was really good.
That was kind of James Bondy with
I
it.
like spy things.
Yeah. Well, but you're finding it really hard to remember.
Plus, there was murders in it.
There was, and you had to work out. There was a lot to work out. It was really cleverly... it was very cleverly written, because if you went back over the episode, you saw clues that were laid down for who the bad guy was.
I think I remember it.
That's okay. There were...
I like their costume change.
into the dicky bows and dinner suits and all that. And it was when Agent O, they met him in Australia. No, not Agent O, not but the very... What was that?
When the, what was he called?
It was Stephen Fry.
When the head guy...
C, I think.
When C, the boss person, was shot, and they were asking who the, double agent was, he said O.
But he said it like, the agent is shot.
Oh! I just died, but it's actually O is the
Double agent.
person.
Yeah.
I knew that. Why didn't it just go...
What?
Why did he go... Okay. If that's sign language...
I think what she's saying is, if he knew that O was the double agent, why didn't he just kill him?
Yeah.
Story. Made a better story.
Plus, then he'll be in a bit of bother.
And then you had these ghosty figures. We never quite found out. We found out that O was... Anybody want to reveal it?
Master.
The Master. So bringing back the Master, another incarnation of the Master, and the Doctor was banished to this weird place. A very, very exciting start to the season. Yeah, the season before that was very much, we just have standalone stories. We don't talk about any mythology of the Doctor. This season sort of turns that on the
But
head.
if you think about it, they didn't mention what was the whole last episode was about. They didn't mention anything about the first child thing.
Well, I haven't got to that one yet.
Yeah, but they didn't mention anything in the first episode about that, or any of the episodes really.
Last season there was an episode with some of it on.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was very subtle.
I like the way with, like, 9 and 10 and 11, I don't know about 12, but they did, like, in each series there was a thing to connect them all. Like
Story arc.
Yeah, like Bad Wolf. There was...
There was Bad Wolf, there was Torchwood. There was the mystery around Clara. There was...
There's the whole... Where is Amy? Where's that? Amy
Yes,
actually?
the Amy thing. There was the crack in the wall.
Oh, yeah, that was that.
There was, I think, the last of Capaldi's one. It was who is in the locked door. End up being Missy. Yeah, so...
There was something I was thinking about that the other day, but I can't remember what it was, like why they were in there.
Okay.
That helps.
Anyway, Spyfall Part 2 was a few days later, and the Doctor meets up with Ada Lovelace, who is one of the people credited for the invention of the computer.
She's on the wall of my IT room.
So she should be a very clever lady. They both fight the Master, and they end up in World War II with... I have forgotten her name, and I've got it in front of me, I cannot pronounce it, Noor Inayat Khan, who is a French resistance operative, and eventually they get back to modern day, and they beat the Master at his own game. Lenny Henry was the human bad guy. I thought he was brilliant in this.
I like that one. It was very historical, and I like historical episodes.
Wait, what one were we on?
The Spyfall Part 2 with Ada Lovelace. Well, yes, we find out that the Master has destroyed Gallifrey because of a terrible secret that must never be told.
Until the very last episode.
Till the very last episode, because you can't tell it before that.
But that...
That still doesn't explain why he destroyed Gallifrey.
He was mad. When he discovered what the secret was, he just went, he flipped. He turned all the tables over.
He want to be the, what do you call it?
The
Timeless Child.
Timeless Child.
Aye, why did he want to be it?
Maybe.
I liked this episode, but I liked it slightly less than the other one. I can't remember why, but I remember I liked it slightly less, but I still liked it.
Okay. I tend not. Straight after that was Orphan 55. And the BBC says about this, the Doctor and friends go on an all-inclusive holiday into terror. Dun, dun, dun.
I did not like this one as much.
Well, this was the low point of the season for me. It is definitely not the lowest point in Doctor Who. That, for me, would be Love and Monsters.
Oh yeah, that would, for me that would be either that one or the whole of, most of Series 11. It just wasn't very interesting, like...
Okay, but this one, it was... I like it when Doctor Who brings about real-world things, and this was about the world ending, but I prefer it when it's not so heavy-handed.
I liked it.
It was almost at the end, now, boys and girls, this is what this means.
The ending was like, why didn't they go back and save whoever the other two people were?
There was that as well, because they did that with Captain Jack in the Doctor Dances.
And they did it in the Pompeii one, where...
Yeah, where they saved the 12th Doctor.
Also, there wasn't really much... They were in, like, a spa place, weren't they? Something like that.
A holiday resort.
Yeah, there wasn't really much of that in it. Like, it could have been, like, a kitchen. It wouldn't really matter. Like, they didn't really bring that into it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
You liked it?
I liked the way, because they were trying to do anyway to try and, like, promote eco-ness.
Yep. That's okay. You're allowed to like it. It wasn't the message I didn't like. It was the heavy-handedness of the story. When they went out in the sort of armoured tank thing to try and save the fella, they brought everyone with them. Instead of going, you lot stay behind, stay safe. But they brought everyone with them.
Oh, but that wee woman was looking for her man.
She was really annoying. What was her husband's, like, Benny or something?
Yeah.
Like, every 5 minutes, like, Benny!
She's looking for her man, Catherine.
Still.
Can I say that the next episode was definitely a move up? That was Nicole Tels's Night of Terror. Another historical one, Charlotte?
You're gonna have to recap it.
I remember it, but I can't remember some parts of it.
Okay, this is what the BBC say. 1903. Who or what is sabotaging Nicole Tels's generating plant at the Niagara Falls?
Who was it? I can't remember.
He was an inventor, but he was
I
broke.
know, who was it?
It was the giant scorpion things.
Yeah.
Played by Rani from Sarah Jane Adventures.
I didn't think the creatures were very original because it was kind of like the spider one in The Runaway Bride.
A lot of people have said that, but they could be related creatures.
But then they should have said that.
My friend said she watched that one and I helped her with her physics exam.
Why?
Well, Telsa was a scientist and they had Edison in it. They portrayed them really well. What?
Tesla, not Tesla.
Tesla. Telsa.
The car.
Oh yes. Sorry. I didn't. I haven't
she said
been.
that's one of the few. That's one of the few ones she's watched, and it helped her with her physics exam. So
Excellent. That is good.
Nah.
Right. I enjoyed it. I thought the characterization of both Telsa and Edison is everything I've read about in the history books.
It's better than Orphan 55, like a lot better, but still not as good as the Spyfall ones.
That's okay. That's no problem. I'm not going to judge them because I find that really hard. I can say something's better than the other. The next one was a total game changer. Fugitive of the Jadoon. Why have the Jadoon targeted 21st century Gloucester? Colchester? What
was I?
I hate these English words that do not. I know what the word is. Gloucester.
I've never seen that.
Why have the Jadoon targeted 21st century Gloucester? Can the Doctor protect the city? Boy, that went in a different direction.
Was that a two-parter or not? No, it wasn't.
No, it just felt like 5 hours of TV.
I like that. You know the part where with the fire smashy thing. No. The thing where you punch it if there's a fire.
Fire alarm.
No.
yeah, that's a fire alarm.
Okay. Well, when the glowy bit, I knew that they were going to be the Doctor.
Oh, yeah, yes, when Rose took her to the house.
Rose.
Wait.
That was her name. No, was it Rose? No, what was it? Ruth? No.
What?
Ruth. Yeah. It was Ruth.
But my question is, how did she come from Gallifrey to Earth?
In the TARDIS. Because they found the TARDIS.
No, but
Seriously, they dug up the TARDIS.
I know that, but where does she slot into her timeline?
And we were not going to know that for a long time. Yep.
But sure, the Doctors had loads of lives.
I know, but the police box TARDIS came about in the very first episode of Doctor Who, because the Doctor comments, it usually changes shape.
Yeah, but that could just be, like... It didn't show 8 turning into the War Doctor, did it?
It showed 8 turning into the War Doctor in Night of the Doctor.
Did it show the War Doctor turning into 9?
At the very end of the... whatever that one, the 50th anniversary Day of the Doctor. It could be between 2 and 3. And there's a bit where you don't actually see 2 turn into number 3.
It could be her future, and then it gets, like, buried.
Yeah.
But she doesn't remember her, because it could be, like, very far in the future, because the Doctor doesn't remember all of the past one, all of the very past ones.
But the thing is, the TARDIS is the older. Is it not older? The inside of the TARDIS.
Oh, it's an older version of the TARDIS.
So why would it turn to its older version?
Because it felt like it.
Why? Maybe it went back to an old familiar face.
Why do people change their hairstyles to ones they had when they were younger?
But whoa. Like, we're getting bogged down here. I think we can agree that was such a game changer. It went a totally different direction, and when the Ruth Doctor said, "I am the Doctor, I travel in time and space, blah blah blah," in the TARDIS, that sent a shiver down the spine.
What if... Wait. Sorry. How long would she have... You know the way she didn't know she was a Doctor until she went to the lighthouse bit?
Yeah.
How long was that then? Because that could have been centuries.
I doubt that. Well...
How long was what?
Well...
How long did she not know she was a Doctor?
No, the chameleon arc changes her into human. Everything is human about her.
Yeah, so how long did she...
Was a human, as long as a human lives.
Oh, okay. So she'd been
Yeah.
a human for like 40, 50 years?
So after that, would they just go into a Time Lord again? Or would they die? Or did they like, be reborn?
Again, these are questions that have probably never been asked. Let's move on to the next one. Praxis. Across Peru... Praxias, then.
I don't know what.
I noticed that across Peru, Madagascar, and Hong Kong, the Doctor and friends face a deadly global threat. Okay, so that was the one with the plastic.
I saw this on Instagram, so I don't know if it's true, but in China and some other countries, the episode's banned because it's so similar to the coronavirus, and they don't know if it'll ever be, like, unbanned.
Okay.
So it could be, like, a lost episode.
Oh, in China? Okay. So I like this environmental one was a lot better than Orphan 55.
I liked it.
Maybe not one of the top ones of the season for me, but definitely a good episode.
This is that guy who was keeping watch. He died, no one ever brought it up.
We're in the next episode now. Stop talking about that one.
No, it's in that one.
What guy is keeping watch?
The guy who was keeping watch outside the house when
Outside
they're...
the beach hut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he died.
And he dies, no one ever notices.
Well, they
They're
do,
too
but
busy.
they were too busy saving their lives.
Yeah, but even after this...
If the Doctor would just park closer to places, it would help a lot
or like
better.
inside.
Anyway, so that was Praxias. Can you hear me? The Doctor answers cries of help from deep space, ancient Syria, and Sheffield.
Oh, that's the one. With a weird, like, monster and then the woman who, like, controls it or something.
Yeah,
The
that.
gorilla thingy, like in Temple Run.
Yes. Charlotte is looking very confused. This is the one where it ended up that were these people trapped in a planet and they were just out to destroy everything. These aliens, these superpowered aliens, maybe even Guardians. And you don't know about that because that's from ancient Doctor Who mythology. This is what the Wikipedia says. The Doctor drops her companions back home where they simultaneously begin to experience supernatural event. Graham sees visions of an imprisoned girl telling him to find her. That will be the planet one. Ryan witnesses a mysterious figure cause his friends to vanish, and Yaz sees an unfamiliar woman while remembering her past.
The finger off guy.
Yes, there was a finger off
He
guy.
kind of looks like Voldemort.
I remember that one now.
Yeah, I loved the one bit I loved about this was Yaz's backstory. It really filled her out a bit more.
To be honest, I think Yaz is kind of useless, in my opinion.
Catherine, there was a whole episode based on her ancestry.
But I tend to agree the companions have not been fleshed out the way they could have. So that's a choice of the writers.
Because usually in the first episode with the characters, it's all about, like, their life and all. But because there's 3 of them, you couldn't really do that in the one episode. Because usually if there's more than one companion, they introduce them at different times, so they each have, like, an episode.
Mm-hmm.
We've probably heard the most about Yaz, I think.
I think so.
Because we've heard about her ancestry, we've heard about her mum. There was a whole hotel thing with the spiders that you didn't like. And then there was also that one.
Okay.
She kind of just stands there and points out the obvious.
That's what the companions do.
No.
That is literally what the companions were meant to do at the start.
No.
Oh, look, Doctor, what is that thing? Well, I'll have to explain it for you then, so
like
the
she-
audience will know.
No, she'd be like, oh, there's a bird. It's like, yes, this is called a species of bird.
But it was
Okay.
evil.
Okay, straight after Can You Hear Me? The Haunting of Villa Diodata. If that's how you pronounce it. 1816, Lord Byron and the Shelleys prepare for a night of ghost stories.
Oh, it's not the one I'm thinking of.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one was good.
It was really good. Do you know what I really loved? The bit I loved was when Shelley talks about his daughter, and that's Ada Lovelace from the second episode. Oh, brilliant. Yes, she'll be brilliant. Fantastic. I loved that. I loved the spookiness of it. I thought it was brilliant.
Sorry, the dog's just buried his head.
He can't stand it. But the fact that it also led into the 2-part finale, so making it a 3-part finale. So this is a historical one, Charlotte.
I liked it.
Who was your favourite character?
I can't remember what any of them were called. I don't know what any of them were called.
Well, there was Mary Shelley. Oh, it wasn't Shelley. It was Byron, whose daughter is Ada Lovelace. Yeah, really interesting backstories. The thing that this does for me is to go on the internet and read all about their backstories. I mean, Mary Shelley, what did she write?
Frankenstein.
Or, what's the other name for Frankenstein?
The creator's monster.
A modern day Prometheus.
Same thing.
Okay. So now we know the truth behind it. It was written because she met a Cyberman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that back.
Yeah. Okay, and this leads on to the ascension of the Cybermen.
But you know the way the Doctor took up the thing that Cyberman was after?
Yeah.
Would she have retained all the information from it, or would you have to have it inside you to still remember all the information it gives you?
No idea. No idea. So, yes?
Why does the Cyberman have like half a face?
I don't know. It wasn't explained very well. He had feelings as well. So,
He was half a Cyberman, he wasn't complete.
yeah. Ascension of the Cyberman. The Doctor and the friends must protect the last of the human race against the Cybermen.
What if it's Bill? Wait, she
Catherine.
died.
Yeah. What if it's Handles?
Handel's only head though, and Handel's died.
Oh, true. Anyway, the Doctor and his friends must protect the last of the human race against the Cybermen. Ascension of the Cybermen. I didn't think this was as good.
I don't remember it, so I'm going to say it's not good.
Isn't that the one where they were on the ship? No, where they found the people in the hiding
Yes.
from the Cyberman.
Oh, yeah.
And
it was like a
that.
two-parter.
Yeah, it was the season finale.
Oh, yeah.
It led into the Timeless Children.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Well, no, it was good, but it wasn't as good as the finale.
It wasn't as good as it could have been.
So in the Timeless Children, the Cybermen attack, and for the Doctor, nothing will ever be the same. They ended up in Gallifrey, the whole lot of them. You had Time Lord Cybermen, who had this whole flamboyant
I know, it was weird.
look. Well, I think that's more the Master would have done that than the Cybermen. And there's a meme out there of one of those Time Lord Cybermen, thinking about the gold bits in it, thinking, is that real gold? Because Cybermen are allergic to gold.
If the Doctor's a timeless child, and basically all the Gallifreyans are related to her.
No. What seems to be a Gallifreyan found this child who could regenerate, and then being a scientist was able to reproduce that effect and give it to the Time Lords.
But could she basically not just make more Time Lords, but make
People, Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a planet
Yeah,
full
but
of
they
humans.
don't know if they can withstand it, if they'll be able to, if their bodies will fight against the serum, or if they will go, yeah.
but also with the mythology of the Time Lords, it's not just regeneration, it's the knowledge of time that they have. And I don't think the Timeless Child had that.
She's timeless.
Yeah, and what about the Irish policeman?
Oh, I like that bit.
It was
weird.
It was a wee bit confusing, but I think it showed that the Doctor would live lives, then they'd wipe the memory. So when what we call the first Doctor escaped, he escaped those mind wipes.
Oh. Wait, but it didn't really make sense though, because how come he aged but nobody else did?
Yeah, but it was just in his mind. It was just, it wasn't, that wasn't what really was happening.
Yeah, that just was just confusing.
What happened to the women who found her as a child?
They died.
Don't know.
That could be the Master.
Wait, you know the crazy woman?
From...
The Time Lords. Who sits at the desk and goes oh.
What? Are you
The one
talking...
who draws the pictures.
Oh, that...
It could be her.
No, there's somebody else. There's somebody else. But it could be... I honestly don't know. I don't
Could
know.
be the Master.
What if it's Susan? The granddaughter, Susan? What if... That is... Wow. His granddaughter.
Oh.
Or his granddaughter, because there were rumours that wasn't really his granddaughter.
Or it could be... I don't know who it could be.
Wait, is the two hearts an attribute of the Gallifreyans, or is it an attribute of the Timeless Child, though?
It doesn't.
I don't know.
It's still. Where did the TARDIS come from?
They created time travel, so the TARDIS.
Maybe
It was one of the many TARDIS.
Maybe there's a TARDIS.
It was one of many TARDISes. I mean, the whole thing, Doctor Who, the history of Doctor Who has been rewritten so many times. I loved they had the Mobius Doctors in it.
What?
When they had the flashbacks of all the different Doctors, they showed pictures of old men. That was from the brain of Mobius. I would have loved if they had some reference to Rassilon or Mobius or Morbi.
Is that not the thing where they slept in the thing and then there's like
Too many
things?
Too many
The
things.
Sandman thingy.
Uh,
What was that called? It was something
Oh,
like
I
that.
can't remember. I mean, this leads on to sort of toxic fandom, where there's a lot of people out there who are really nasty about Doctor Who. You can't have Doctor Who doing this. You can't do that. That's not my Doctor.
In my opinion, it wasn't really much of a finale. Like, it didn't really finish much. Like, a finale is supposed to explain stuff.
No. What you want in a good season finale is a few answers and more questions.
No, but
we
like,
got
it
that.
just felt like an extra episode. It didn't really feel like a finale to me. Also, who was the old guy that died?
He was, he just protected the place. He was a human.
Humming.
Human.
No,
He was a grandfather from Derry Girls, I know that much. Just there's a lot of toxic fandom out there where people will, I hate this because I hate this, and not give a good explanation. And there's lots of YouTubers out there who just seem to hate. I watched Picard, which is Star Trek, with a very old Jean-Luc Picard, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. There's people out there who, a video I watched of a woman went, I watched the first 5 minutes of this. I hated it so much. Here's my video about why this is such a terrible show. She watched 5 minutes of it. I just think, wise up. It's easy to get toxic fandom. It's easy for fans to say, I own this. It should be the way I imagine it. Instead of, this is entertainment. It really doesn't matter if the Doctor this is the 13th Doctor, the 40th Doctor, the 5 millionth Doctor, or anything like that. The first Doctor, I will always call the first Doctor. But it doesn't mean, it's never in show that they're called the first Doctor.
It's a title.
It's a title. It's a title we give, and they don't give themselves. I enjoy watching Doctor Who with my fam. I really do. You two started watching from the 11th Doctor, the 11th hour, actually, when your cousins watched it with you.
How old was I? When was that?
I think you were like 5 or something like
I
that.
think I was 4.
You may have been, but that's okay. I remember watching it when I was young and hiding behind the door, even the music, because it scared me. But and I hope to be watching it years to come. It'll have to be years, because it's not another one until the new year.
Yeah.
But there is a New Year episode. A new episode. It's already in the can.
I prefer the Christmas ones because I'm for everything Christmas.
I liked them at Christmas because it was part of our Christmas day. There's nothing in the evening now.
There's nothing to do now.
I don't want to see Strictly Come Dancing.
No.
I don't want to see The Chase
Watch all
5
the
times.
old Christmas ones. Like all
You
of
can
Well,
only
but-
watch them a certain amount of times, Catherine.
Yeah. So, listen, folks, thank you very much for listening. If you enjoy Doctor Who, I'm sure most of you do, let us know. We are going to hopefully do our Buffy episode next time, Buffy Season 1. Well, we're hoping to do our MCU review, because Catherine has now watched it all just before we go and see Black Widow, but we don't know when that's going to be out, so that could be a couple of episodes time, but we'll get to that as soon as we can. If you'd like to contact us by email, you can,
mymarksmess@gmail.com.
or on Twitter.
At Marksmess Podcast without the T.
Our webpage, marksmesspodcasts.blogspot.com, or our Facebook.
Marksmess Podcast.
And thanks to Josh Woodward of joshwoodward.com for our title music. Thank you very much for listening and joining us in our Doctor Who Season 12 revamp.
No, not review. Yeah.
Review. Thank you for joining us on our Doctor Who Season 12 review, and I hope if you enjoyed Doctor Who, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you didn't enjoy Doctor Who, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Listen, folks, Stay safe out there.
You know the word review? You're reviewing it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I'm in physics. Right. So we were doing about light and stuff. And then, you know the brand Ray-Ban?
Yes.
It bans rays from your eyes.
No, it's a band that goes round your eyes.
Ray-Ban, it bans the rays.
Band. Is it ban or band?
Ray-Ban.
See, learn something new every day.
Hold on, let me see.
Stay safe, stay at home, and you'll hear from us next month. Bye.
Bye.
First appearance of Superman in 1938. Batman in 1939. Rock and roll born with Elvis's first album in 1956. The modern sitcom created in 1944. The point being that pop culture in all its forms was born during the 20th century. I'm Scott Weatherly, and please come and join me on 20th Century Geek, a journey through the common and not so common elements of pop and geek culture. Every week I alternate between a blog and a podcast as I look at something different, using roundtable discussions, interviews, reviews, and some general rambling. Find us on iTunes and Stitcher, or visit our website 20thcenturygeek.com. 20th Century Geek, the blog and podcast that meets your history and geeky needs.
I hope he's home. Why does it sound like I'm using a phone in the UK?
I told you never to call me again.
Yeah, I know. And modern science has yet to create a device to measure how much I don't care. Look, I'm getting the trailer for this year's JLMA together, and I assumed I had to make you a part of it since you're always in everybody's trailer or something.
Well, look at you, leading this year's JLMA. Somebody's wearing his big boy pants. So, what's the theme?
I sent you an email like a month ago.
Like I even pay attention to anything you send me.
Countdown to Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis?
No, Countdown to Infinite Crisis.
I'm not following.
Shocking. The theme this year, I'm going to, like I'm talking to a child. The theme this year is Countdown to Infinite Crisis. I thought it was a fascinating time period in DC's history, so a bunch of us are getting together to talk about the various specials and miniseries and crossovers that led up to Infinite Crisis. It's the event before the event. The whole thing is going to kick off on April 30th, 2020 with a special episode of Views from the Long Box covering the Countdown to Infinite Crisis 80-page giant, and from there a whole bunch of shows that I will be adding in post-production will discuss these previously mentioned miniseries and crossover issues.
And people actually agreed to this?
Shockingly, yes!
Well, it's probably a good thing that you're going to cover Countdown to Infinite Crisis instead of the Countdown series, because that was a train wreck.
Yeah, actually that was my thinking too. Now, are you going to help me with this trailer or not?
Fine, I will help you with your little trailer.
Good. Don't worry, by the way. There won't be any dates for you to get wrong.
I hate you so much.
JL May 2020. Countdown to Infinite Crisis. The event before the event. This crossover kicks off on April 30th, 2020 on Views from the Long Box and continues into Aquaman and Firestorm, the Fire and Water podcast, Robin, Everyone Loves the Drake, Pop Culture Affidavit, It All Comes Back to Superman, the Fanholes Podcast, Justice's First Dawn, the Birds of Prey Podcast, Married with Comics, the Coffee and Comics Podcast, the Longbox Crusade, Task Force X, Relatively Geeky Presents, Wonder Woman, Warrior for Peace, and the Dr. DC Podcast.